sides of issues. This time we're on the same side, but it is. I realize in this business, it's difficult for us to, notwithstanding the fact we're personally cooperating on this bill, for us to dismiss the prospect of some partisanship. Let me set the record straight on this bill. The underlying bill, which is now the Biden-Hatch bill, was the Biden bill. A guy named Biden wrote that bill, and he wrote that bill by going down and sitting down with the President of the United States of America, not with his Attorney General, not with anyone else, with Bill Clinton, President of the United States of America, who between the time he got elected in November until the time he was sworn in, called me at my home on 6 separate occasions, and he unfortunately doesn't need a lot of sleep. Sometimes literally, and I say this on the record, as late as 11:30 at night, to discuss why I wasn't moving quicker on the Biden crime bill from before. I sat with him, not with his Attorney General. He wanted 100,000 policemen. He does not view this as a social issue as opposed to trying to bring peace and security to the streets. As governor of the state of Arkansas, he presided over, as governor, the execution of individuals within the state and the death penalty. He supports the death penalty. He is the fellow who insisted that I bump this up from initially to when I said, where are we going to get the money? He said, well, all I know is I want 100,000 cops. I made that commitment. He had endorsed the Biden crime bill as a candidate when he ran. He is the one who talks about the need for stiffer penalties. So notwithstanding the fact some of the old Democrats and former presidents who were Democrats before Carter, I suspect, I don't know who we're talking about here, but in the old days, it is true. When Richard Nixon was running for president, Richard Nixon used to talk about law and order, and the Democratic response was law and order with justice, whatever either one of those meant. I never knew. I was running then in 1972. I didn't think Richard Nixon knew what it meant, and I didn't think the opposition knew what it meant. This president is very, very straightforward and simple. He knows there are 2 basic steps here. One step is you must take back the streets. And you take back the streets by more cops, more prisons, more physical protection for the people. He also understands what my friend from Texas understands, and he doesn't talk a lot about, but he signed on to in this bill. He also understands there's a need to keep people who are first-time offenders, who are nonviolent offenders, or who are potential time offenders who haven't gotten, I yield myself an additional 3 minutes, who in fact are people who are getting themselves into the crime stream for the first time, that they should be diverted from the system. So I hope this crime bill, when it passes, the Biden-Hatch crime bill, as it becomes law, God willing, I hope that we will have ended once and for all this notion that is a hangover from the 60s, that somehow Democrats are weak on crime and Democratic presidents are weak on crime and Republicans are tough on crime. The truth is, every major crime bill since 1976 that's come out of this Congress, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden, on that bill, and has had a majority vote of the Democratic members of the United States Senate on the bill. So one of the things I want to do in addition to ending crime is end the political carnage that goes on when we talk about crime. Crime is not Democrat or Republican. Making the streets safe is not a Democratic or Republican issue. This is one of those issues I hope this passage of this bill will be taken out of the gridlock category and moved into an emerging consensus. And the consensus is as follows, and I will cease.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood, the hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench, because we don't know who Clarence Thomas is representing. He's sitting on a Supreme Court, sitting on a bench, smelling like cocoa butter.
4, 3, live. Welcome to Hoodviewpolitics. We're going to deep detail dive into politics from a hood point of view.
Turn the mic on.
I'm Rabbit Jones.
I'm Tony, the #1 soul brother.
And this
is Hoodview Politics.
You best to believe it. God damn, can't do that. You getting there?
I can hear his mic on.
Yeah. Now, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, to the Hoodview Politics. Now, we do have one problem here, that the MAGA Republicans has decided to postpone. Now, I appreciate Rails, who's a MAGA Republican, right? Who's a MAGA Republican. Hold on, what is going on? Is a MAGA Republican and is a black man.
You can hear me in this mic?
Yeah.
Shit coming through.
And he really serious about backing him and Trump is his candidate, which we respect, right? But on the other hand, we do have to deal in facts. And me and #1 soul brother doing this podcast, all we want to do is one, deal in facts. In the black culture, first of all, is our first goal is to have the black culture learn and understand politics from a point of view from the hood. Me and this man here is coming from the streets. We never signed up, even looked at a college. So we're not coming on here trying to be some extraordinary podcasters or some motherfucking radio hosts. That's not what we're doing here. We literally just being ourselves, and we will have an issue with anything that's anti-black culture. That's just it, right? And that clashes with Republican black MAGAs. That's not our fault. Last week, we had black Republican MAGAs on the show. And shouts out to Reels for coming on our podcast. I appreciate him a whole lot. He's a black MAGA Republican. Check him out on Twitter, YouTube. You can check him out here. You know what I'm saying? He got all the material you need for black Republicans. So I give shouts out to him for coming on here and expressing his views. The one thing about Reels, I give him credit, is he willing to go anywhere and express his views. So I'm good with that. But you cannot. First of all, me and the #1 soul brother are on this thing constantly, going into deep, detailed dives into black history. You cannot just pop on our podcast and think going through black history is a burden. It's a problem. You don't want to do that's too much. No. This is what we the fuck here for. The black culture. Me and the #1 soul brother. This is what we here for, bro. To inform our black culture about politics and how it affects them directly. Who the president is, who the governor is, who the city council is. That's the reason why we're here. And when we see people like black Republicans or MAGA Republicans, we want that dialogue. We want that conversation. And if you're a black Republican out there, this podcast is open for you at any time. MAGA Republicans, anytime. Because that dialogue is what we want. We don't want no screaming and hollering. That's true. We don't want no talking points. We want to talk about the black history and what's best for it. Our future. Period. So we invited black Republicans on. Black MAGAs on. We don't care. But when you come on here and we're trying to have a dialogue with you, you disappear, you run out, then start posting stuff on your social media, twisting and turning and using and cutting. That turns into a problem for me. Because then you didn't directly hit the problem on live. You ducked out and then use your own narratives on your own platforms that's bigger than ours. And all we was doing was trying to figure out your situation. Now, if anybody don't know what I'm talking about, the last podcast we had black MAGA Republicans on. And a young lady came on that had a problem with us having a debate with rails. She comes on and they had no clue about the conversation we was having. Asked her questions about things we was talking about. She had no clue. In fact, she even said she don't know about the history. Okay, cool. We don't care nothing about that. We niggas that never signed up for college. Never one of us even went on a college campus, even thought about it.
Yes, I have.
You been on one? Go ahead.
Hell yeah.
Talk about that.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Finish. Go ahead, finish.
Why you stop me? Go ahead. Tell that story.
Nah, I've been to college. Shit, I've been to UMES. Just last year I was taking.
No, I ain't talking about that. That's not what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's not what I'm talking about right there.
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, coming out of high school, did you have colleges on your landscape?
Yeah, to a certain. Yeah, didn't go, but yeah, I thought about it. And then later in life, I did.
No, I'm talking about high school.
Coming out of high school.
Yeah.
That other shit on my mind.
All right, that's where I was at. I don't know what happened after that, but again, you're talking to two people, because most people that go to college thought about that in high school. Me and you did not. So that's what I'm talking about. So therefore, so we literally, of course, when you get older in your 30s, 40s, you realize that was dumb and you try to go to school. Okay, and we get that. But I'm talking about as we coming out of college, coming out of school, high school, if we were coming out of high school, we was not thinking about that. And I was nowhere near thinking about college, period. I never signed up, never looked at, never even thought about it. And that's where I'm at, period. So I'm just coming on this joint as an average motherfucker, which is this called Hoodviewpolitics, and coming with my angle, what's best for the black culture. That's just it. And we want a dialogue with MAGA Republicans. We feel like they are supporting the racist party. And all me and number one soul brother wanted to do is break down every talking point from the beginning of history until now, so we can see the backdrop as we have a dialogue on who we should support, Biden or Trump. That was it. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Go ahead, Trump.
Well, I come from a different perspective on that, because my thing is this: if you're coming from a sincere place, and you actually believe that those policies are good for not only yourself, but the community, the Black community, and the country as a whole. If you believe that from in your heart, I can respect that, and let's have that debate. Got no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is, first of all, he came on last week, and he want to go back in history. And this is a problem I have. When you go back in history, you can't leave parts out. You can't gloss over certain parts. And you can't say that certain parts are irrelevant, because all of it as a whole got us to where we're at today. So he want to come on here and talk about certain things, but you don't want to talk about, but you don't want to talk about other things. If you can't come on here, and especially if we producing a podcast that is geared to the Black community and informing and educating the Black community on what's going on in politics and what's going on on Capitol Hill and the State House, then you can't come on here with half truths, with parts left out, glossed over, because then we're doing a disservice to the people we're trying to inform and educate. So you can't do that.
I'm not gonna let you.
So you can't do that. Now, you come on here, you got a problem with everything Black. Dude, I got news for you. Look in the mirror. You blacker than the ace of spades. But you got a problem with everything Black and all Black people. It isn't a political problem you have. It's a personal problem you have. Because somewhere along the line, for some reason, I guess Black people don't fuck with you. And the attitude that you take towards Black people, I can see why. Just like tonight, you've been invited on here to state your case and to bring your people on here to state their case. Last week, I didn't even get a chance to question you. My man right here did all the questioning. Then every time I try to get a question in, you want to go off, you want to gloss over shit, leave shit out. That was my thing with you. And then with the girl, she come on here with a story. It was a story she was telling. The story that she came on here, she was telling us as to why she turned into a MAGA Republican.
Exactly.
It was her story. But when somebody tried to question and ask her about the specifics of the story, she wanted to go off and on a tangent, and y'all cussing me out and y'all cussing at me, and she want to play the woman card, like y'all pro-Black. Look, I never make bones about being pro-Black. Yes, I'm pro-Black. My man right here, he's pro-Black. We're both pro-Black.
Extremely.
Now, just because you are pro-Black, just because I am and we are pro-Black, doesn't mean we're anti everything else. All we saying is we're looking out for our interests, the interests of our community, the interests of our culture, and so on and so on, which every race of people on this earth do. Not just black people. White people look out for their interests and their culture the same way. Jews, Hispanics, Asians, Italian Americans, and so on down the line. Everybody looks out and does their best to preserve and enhance and build up their culture and build up their community. It is not nothing, and there's not nothing that nobody is doing. My problem is y'all came on here with them bullshit stories last week, and then you went afterwards. You went off and you cut up clips and you put these clickbait ass titles on the clips about like you got two angry black men attacking a poor little defenseless black MAGA woman, which wasn't the case. Which wasn't the case at all. That's why when I went off camera, I even told my man, shut it down, because I know that's how y'all do. And when I mean y'all, I'm talking about y'all, MAGA, Republicans, black MAGA, white MAGA, blue MAGA, green MAGA, all y'all do the same thing. If it's not a friendly place for you to go where you can spit out that garbage that you talking, you can't deal with it. You want to bait somebody into an argument and then put out videos and portray somebody as the angry black man, or they misogynist, they fighting for transgender rights and all this old other shit. I seen the shit you put out there. It was garbage. But then you had an invite to come on here tonight, state your case, and we can talk about it. We can talk about it for the whole podcast. And I told my man, I said, they not coming. I'd be surprised if they coming. You know why? Because every time somebody call y'all on your bullshit, you either run, you hide, something came up, the sky's falling, I just can't do it, or whatever. And I'm willing to bet that if you ain't looking at this podcast right here live right now, you are going to look at it at some point, and you're going to pull clips off of it. You're going to put these clips on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever, with all kind of wild ass clickbait titles to try to get your point across. What I'm saying is, if you sincere and you actually believe what the garbage that you're saying, because I don't understand how y'all are so anti-black, especially the brother. You so anti-black. I don't know who the black person, or in his case, the black woman, the who, or in the woman case, the black man, or whoever did whatever to y'all. I don't know. But y'all got a serious problem. And it's a personal problem. Y'all try to, and y'all use it as a excuse or a crutch for you to run to MAGA. I'm just gonna say this on my little soliloquy here. You can come on here, we've been doing this podcast for 2 years, and you can go back from the beginning. And from the beginning, when we on this podcast, nothing changed. The way we act on this podcast, there's a way we act in life. Don't nothing change. And people will say, why they ask me, why you a Democrat? Or why you this and why you that? It's because of this. The one thing about being in the Democratic Party, and you can look at the diversity in the Democratic Party, and it'll prove my point. I don't have to be something I'm not. I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. I can be me all day long. And the problem I have with you especially you black MAGA Republicans that come on here like y'all did last week. Y'all will come on here, y'all will run down your race, you will run down black people, you will run down your community. In his case, he run down black women, something terrible. All to be to be accepted by a party that don't give a damn about you.
We will make America great again.
They don't, when they talk about black people, and Trump has did it, he talk about black people in all kind of way, being lazy and don't want to do this and don't want to work and live off the government and all this other shit. I got news for you. He's talking about you too. That's one thing about being in this party. I don't have to run down my own people. I don't have to run down my own kind. I don't have to run down my community. I don't have to trash black women. I don't have to do any of that to be accepted. I am accepted for what I am and who I am. And I have a problem with y'all because y'all have to basically hate yourself, you hate your community, you hate what you came from to be accepted by a bunch of people who don't give a fuck about you.
And that's the only way they can, for themselves, be like, if you support a racist, right? What can you do? Tell everybody else he's not a racist, because then you could certify yourself. You know what I'm saying, dog? Cool. If you want us to believe he's not a racist, cool. What we see with our eyes didn't exist. Yeah. My point is, when you push as a black person, what is your end goal? If you're black, what is your end goal? Now, before we get on to Mahogany Jackson, right, was another issue. We need to know what's your end goal. And if is that party you supporting goes to your end goal as a black culture, period. Me personally, I don't give a fuck who it is president.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't go to your goals as a black person, because you to be accepted, you have to deny everything. You have to deny your blackness. You have to deny your blackness. You have to trash your brother. You have to trash your sister. You have to do you ask the question, how can you support somebody that you know are racist? You can only support this person by you have to agree with what they say and make them right.
No.
That's the
what are they doing is trying to tell us he's not one.
Right.
So that excuses them then. You feel me? And that to me is the problem.
Well, how do they say, I mean, how do they try to prove that he's not a racist? It is by agreeing with everything he says.
And rationalize
right.
Though.
It rationalize and agree with everything he says and think since it comes from the mouth of a black person, it doesn't make him racist. That's bullshit. It makes him racist and it makes you a fool.
Now, at the beginning of this podcast, before we go into Mahogany Jackson, right? You can see Joe Biden. He was talking about the crime bill. That's another talking point of the MAGA black. If you was not in that atmosphere at that time, it is no way in the fuck you could stand here now in 2024 and say that bill was some old whatever the fuck you saying. DC was at 450 murders a year.
Yep.
It is nothing happening like that nowhere in this country. And if that is happening, and that wasn't just the only state that was happening in. It was happening in New Orleans. It was happening in LA. It was happening in New York.
It was happening in all the major cities.
So
most of the
you cannot
major cities of this country
deny the fact that it was widespread. It wasn't nothing simple. The Congress itself in America wanted something done, period. That's not our fault. I was literally in that war on drugs, period. So I understand the whole situation. And at the end, that bill, you cannot tell us as a black culture, we can live around 400 people dying every year.
Yeah.
So that's not, you can't deny that. If you wasn't walking around at that time as a black woman raising kids or a family raising kids at that time, you don't know what the hell you're talking about right now. You need to understand the situation we was in. And I was involved in it. I'm not even going to deny that. It was a situation where it was a lot going on, bro. And if we talk about 450 to 500 people died every year, that's a problem. And that's in every state in the black culture that was going on at this time when the crime bill was passed. So at the time you had NAACP, you had Al Sharpton, you had Jesse Jackson, you had everybody black that was pushing black culture issues on the side of passing this bill. Why? Because black people was killing people, 500 people a state a year. It wasn't nothing simple. This shit y'all talking about today is not the same. It was a serious war zone in the 90s. Something had to happen. That was just the bottom line of that. And if you wasn't there, you wouldn't understand that. If you sitting here in 2024 say, oh, they passed a crime bill for black people. Yes, we are here to tell you, we lived through that. That bill was geared to fucking us. The people that wrote it never imagined that to be used for that. It's just that simple. It wasn't written to use against black people. It was written to use to solve the crime problem. Mm-hmm. The police academies and police precincts used it as a motherfucking tool to fuck us. Lock us up. I've been motherfucking put on niggas been pulling me up. One year I got put over 12 years. 12 times, bro. One time, 3 times the niggas put shit on me. A couple times I was lucky. They didn't find my shit in there. You know what I'm saying, dog? That's how the game goes. It was in the 90s. It was literally war zone. I don't even think it can happen these days. You know what I'm saying? You had an army out there like you had then. My block was overran by the army, not the police. The army came on my block, bro. That's how huge this was. It was passed in the Senate. You can't understand how huge this was. They was canceling rap music. This was serious business, bro.
That's what I've said that 100 times. If you ain't lived through the shit, you don't know. The streets was fucked up back then.
What?
92. I caught a bit in 92 for a gun. So I know exactly how the shit was. But look, when crack hit in about 84, 85, around that time when crack started hitting the streets in 86 and all that old shit, that shit spread like wildfire. And when it hit, it brought so much shit with it. It was so much money in the streets. it was so much money in the streets. And when the money came to the streets, the violence came, and you had turf wars, and you had crackheads everywhere, and not one or two people was getting it. Everybody was getting it. But it was a lot of shit that came with it, and something had to be done. But as time went on, the motherfuckers who cried for something to be done, they switched up and tried to make it like, oh, it was a war on black people. Like, guess what? Everybody was getting locked up back then. I knew a motherfucker, and the motherfucker was white. This how the law was. The motherfucker was white, got caught with a dime piece. That motherfucker got fucking 20 years. This was possession of a dime piece. That's how fucked up shit was, and how bad they was trying to get that shit off the streets. And nobody wasn't prepared for the violence, because when the money came, it was so much of it. Motherfuckers wanted to protect what they was getting. You wasn't coming on my block. You wasn't coming on my block selling shit. No. You wasn't coming in my hood making no money.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen.
That's how it was.
That's why I say during that time. That's why I say when motherfuckers say I'm real I am passionate about this whole thing, because our culture I'm passionate about. I've been shot. My man been locked the fuck up. I have a 12-year-old son that I want to raise. He's black. This is my focus. And then, yes, motherfuckers, I'm passionate about the black culture and the direction we go in. And if you as a black Republican and you feel like the Republican Party is better for us, please come on here and have on this debate.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all we want to know. You know what I'm saying? That
my whole thing is, if you in your heart believe that those policies and that mode of thinking is the best way, you come on, tell me why.
And let's have a hash out.
But don't come on here to trash black people, especially trash black women.
Never, ever. Come on, this bitch and do that.
Because that takes everything away from your argument. Because look, whether you know it or not, black people is a lot of black people who are out here who are looking for a better way than a better way out of their situation, or looking for a way out of their situation. I'll put it like that. And when you have one party that will come and talk to you and say, these are the policies, and this is what we're going to do to try to help lift you out of poverty, out of living in this situation, and these type of get your neighborhoods back cleaned up and whatever, and they deliver. They don't deliver. And let's get one thing straight: the Democratic Party's policies, they ain't perfect. They haven't been. We haven't got everything that was promised, but they have delivered on more than what they haven't delivered on.
And my thing about that is, when they do have a vision or have something for the black culture, the Republican Party blocks it. So in the end, you don't have it done, and then you say, "Oh, Democrat, why the fuck you ain't do it? You ain't paying attention to the minutia of politics," and that's why we here. That's why we here to explain that to you.
Because you got it. Because you got, like I said, we it was last week or the week before, and I was like, when they talk that shit, you can't fool us. You can't fool us with that bullshit you talking. But they got a segment out there that they have fooled. And I'll go to it again. You have got poor, disenfranchised white people who constantly vote against their own interests. And they are in the same boat as poor blacks. They're going through the same thing poor blacks has got, but y'all been tricked. And just like I went in on a couple of weeks ago on the Asian community that filed that suit that wiped out affirmative action in colleges. And then they turned around and put foot all up in y'all ass because y'all thought y'all was going to get something that black people fought for one, that we fought for, and y'all thought we was getting something that y'all wasn't going to get. And then in the end, y'all still ain't got shit. And that's the same thing they doing with the lower class of their own party. And the same thing they do with the black, especially the black Republicans, and especially the black MAGA Republicans. They tricked y'all into y'all voting against your own interests. You vote against the own interests of not only your own people, your own damn families. That's how stupid y'all are. And I know y'all gonna cut that part up and put it on the motherfucking and put it on a reel. Who cares? But y'all dumb.
So there's a few things we want to get on before we get out of here, right? Because
let's roll.
We got a situation where a black woman was murdered in Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm.
So looking at this case, Mahogany Jackson, if anybody don't know, she was murdered, raped. I mean, the whole nine, allegedly. And they got everybody going to court now, right? Now, the only thing about this whole case that everybody don't, that I really don't get, right? It's the whole thing confusing to me, right? Because it's like 8 people. And when you listen to the news, it's like it's murky, oh yeah, she knew some of these people, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, how she know some of these people, and then they can take us, and then she text moms telling she kidnapped. You feel me? So why though? You know what I'm saying? Again, whenever me and Tony come into these situations, we don't know this shit probably be viral. We have no fucking clue, bro. Just like when they came on this last week with some viral shit they came in with, we had no clue what that was. We just trying to figure out what was the facts. You know what I'm saying? And this right here just seems so odd, bro. Now, anybody don't know, Mahogany Jackson, right? Was murdered. It was like 8 people, I think.
Yeah, 8.
Almost. Yeah, it's like, now if anybody don't know, she is a influencer, a YouTuber. Her and her family be on YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Look at Step and Fetch It.
And her whole family really be on whole family be on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? The whole, you know how families do the little thing and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, this is a curious case. This one joint I'm really gonna have to follow, right? You know what I'm saying? Because it's just hard to understand what's going on here. It's like you can tell there's a lot of stuff missing, right?
Right.
But Alabama, right? Let's just try to figure this shit out. We're talking about Alabama, influencer, a YouTuber, right? Black, right? Is she one of the most influential black people in the area now? Most rich black people in this area now in Alabama? You feel me? Or what is this, man? It's just this thing just seems so odd to me, bro. Kidnapping is not new to people, right? Especially in DC. But where's 8, 9 people
I mean, basically, it was a gang rape.
for one girl? This is some odd shit.
And I hope I realize one of the ass under the jail.
Oh hell yeah! to the bottom of that motherfucker. But you don't know, man. This is a case we're gonna definitely follow from this point on. Mahogany Jackson. Anybody don't know in Alabama? It's just hard for me to understand this case.
I want to talk to this chump, David DeYoung. I'm gonna look at Stephen Fetchit. Probably don't even know he probably don't even know who the fuck Stephen Fetchit is for real, dude. If you want to come with, some dialogue, bring it. If not, you want to come with insults, kick rocks.
Yeah. Hey, what's that, David? Don't worry about that shit. People like him don't want the dialogue because we can send you the link at any time, bro.
Right.
We ain't one of those type of
Something
motherfuckers.
must have struck a nerve.
And we not YouTubers. So we don't give a fuck. We here for an issue. We here for a reason. You want to dialogue with that issue as a black man, if you are. And again, I want to address another issue too before we move on to Haiti. When we say we want to dialogue and discuss black issues, and if you're not black, why would you want to discuss black issues with us? And why would we want your dialogue? That's not the dialogue we want. We want the black community dialogue. And that's some old, if that seems racist to you, have fun with that. But our goal is to have that dialogue and conversation, especially as the elections are coming up with Biden and Trump. There's two clear people to vote for. And we here just to give our black culture the information they need. And if you in the way of that, we want you to come on here and dialogue, debate that for the black culture, anybody sitting there watching. David.
Now, because they don't want that. Because as long as you can't go back and forth about dumb shit and dumbass controversies and shit, you getting away from purpose. And when the purpose get met, and the purpose is, like I say, to inform and educate our community to get out there and vote. No matter what side you vote for.
Exactly. And we're just trying to inform you.
Because, you know.
Hope you make the right decision.
Yeah. Because in the end, you don't get what your hand called for. But to get out there and be informed who's running. So you can't, so then you won't be complaining about what's going on in your neighborhood, and your neighborhood not getting what they supposed to get, and
we just
the schools
informing people.
Know what's going on within the schools and social programs and such and such and such and such and such. Know who you got representing you in the county, in the state, in the city, and in the White House. And once you get these people out there and they informed and know what's going on, they know their ass is grass.
That's the goal.
That's what they don't want.
That's the goal. We want the debate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
like,
you can come on, you can look at Stephen Fetchit and all that other shit.
I don't even know what that means. What part of the conversation would that fit in?
Right. But when you distract away from what the real purpose is, and that's what them dumbasses tried to do last week, is distract away from the goal and the purpose of what this podcast is. And that is to educate, inform, let our community know what the hell is going on.
That's it.
So get out there and look, every 2, 4, whatever years it is, Go out there, take an
And
hour
another
out your
thing.
day on November 5th. Take an hour out your day.
Another thing, David.
vote.
Another thing, David. If you listen to our videos, which I appreciate you, bro. Listen to our videos. No bullshit, though. Real shit with that.
Ew.
The fact you listen to our videos, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if you listen to a video and you disagree with anything, you can come up here, bro. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go personal. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to say feminine. Y'all emotional and all that, like girls or some shit you were saying. You don't have to do that, bro. You come up here and state your case, make your debate about the topics and the situations we're talking
that's
about.
funny.
You don't have to go personal because none of that shit makes
That's
sense.
wrong,
Because to
yeah.
me, when you say that, that means you telling me black women can't raise men. When you tell me, oh, that's a feminine trait. When you argue, get emotional. That's a single. You was raised by a single woman.
That means you can't.
That means you telling me a black woman can't raise a man. That's where you fucked yourself up. See, that's what I mean, bro. When y'all try to throw shots, it's useless. That's not what we do it here for. We don't give a fuck about you talking about we're emotional and all that bullshit, bro. In fact, I am. For all the reasons I stated for you earlier, right? But that's regardless. You kind of come with your facts.
And goddamn right, I get emotional because I can tell you, it ain't but a handful of people. It ain't too many people. It ain't too many people around. And that the seen what I seen.
Exactly.
I've seen it.
We here to tell a
I've
story,
seen
nigga.
some things.
For that story. Hear the bullshit. That's the difference right there. They here for views and clicks. We here to
Yeah, it
fucking.
ain't about clickbait and all that.
We ain't here for that,
For a
bro.
lot of people, it is about clickbait.
We ain't
It's
here for
about
that.
clickbait and trying. Like I say, if you feel, I'll say it again. If you feel that this is sincerely from your heart, I feel that this is best for the people of this country and for this country as a whole. State your case. Have a debate.
That's it. That's all we asking, bro.
That's all. That's all. If you feel that the streets being littered with automatic weapons,
Talk to us about that.
semi-automatic weapons,
Talk to us, man.
Weapons that are meant for the battlefield in war. If you feel that they belong in the streets, tell me why.
Come up here and talk to us, bro. Cause then
And
you
I'll
talking.
tell you, it convince me.
Cause that's when we start talking about our emotions then. Cause then we talking serious shit. I have a 12-year-old black kid coming up. Guns in the street, not good for him. Been shot before, my damn self. Guns, not good.
These little
So
dumb
we coming to you with
motherfuckers-
emotion regardless, motherfucker.
And these little dumb motherfuckers out here today, recently, and there's a rash of it. These motherfuckers is jumping out, carjacking people with fucking semi-automatic rifles.
They shouldn't have. But Republican, you want to back black Republican, whatever the fuck you want to do, allow that. And that's the debate we want to have. That's it. And for the black person sitting there watching us after that, they can make their own decisions,
and all
bro.
I'm saying is, when part and we was talking about the 94 crime bill, and I don't think this was part of it, but it came around that time. Around that same time, you had the assault weapons ban.
Mm-hmm.
And shit didn't change. You were still able. Hey, if somebody came up in your property, somebody tried to rob you, somebody tried to harm your family, you still had the means to pop a cap in their ass, and nobody said you wrong for doing it. All we say was saying at the time, and nowadays, it is some shit that just don't belong on the streets.
Yeah.
You got these little kids out here, 13, 14, 15 years old, some young and younger than that.
And that's the real shit,
And
the real
running out
black
here-
streets.
They running out here with fucking 9mm semi-automatic pistols with extended magazines.
Exactly.
What the fuck you get? Really?
Those the real, that's the person, that's the emotion, motherfucker. When our black kids are being shot, murdered in the middle of the street with semi-automatics.
Like, goddamn.
Kids. That's the emotion. It really is. Especially when you got kids coming up.
Yeah, how the fuck?
And we've been through it.
How the fuck is this shit getting? How the fuck is this shit getting out here in the streets for them to get it anyway?
That's the point. Bills have to be passed. But if you stuck on being a Trump lover, you blinded on what's happening in your fucking hood where people are being murdered under your nose. Because, hey, Trump 24, he don't give a fuck about the guns in your hood. That's just the reality, bruh. And that's the only thing we give a fuck about because the people change for us. They all gonna change. We need to figure out who gonna stay on the philosophy that helps and contribute to black culture and advances.
Right,
That's it.
right.
And Trump is not gonna be there forever. Biden is not gonna be there. These niggas old as fuck.
And he's not even giving a fuck about. He's not even giving a fuck about his own people because you got these mass shootings. A lot of these people shooting up white people.
That ain't good, yeah.
When you got a jackass that'll go up in the school and killing 6-year-olds, 10-year-olds, and shit like that with automatic weapons, and ain't doing no more than what they supposed to be doing at that age. They're in school learning. And you don't think that something need to be done?
Exactly. Now, David, you leave the comments on that joint. You said we're emotional and all that good shit. Emotional like girls or some shit. Must have been raised by women. But if you want to come on here, just come on this joint. Anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing we've been stressing since we've been on here is Haiti. And there's one thing that I've been stressing since I've been here. I have a problem with motherfucking Biden administration is Haiti. That's just us. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. Now, the updates on Haiti is it's not good, my guy. Not good. So
descending further into chaos. After over a week of some of the worst violence the country has seen, the Prime Minister of Haiti overnight announcing his plans for resignation, releasing this video statement urging calm for the people of Haiti, saying he and his team will resign after the transitional consul is created. The resignation coming the same day leaders of the Caribbean nations held an emergency meeting over the crisis in Jamaica. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken flew down to meet with the leaders, saying earlier Monday that Haitians cannot wait any longer for a path to security, stability, and democracy.
What we've seen in recent days again should remind us that the already challenging and difficult security situation has now deteriorated even further.
Instability has worsened in Haiti since the 2021 assassination of then Prime Minister Jovenel Moïse, and Ariel Henry then came into power. Best-selling author Mitch Albom runs an orphanage in Haiti and spoke to Today in 2021 when 17 members of a missionary group were abducted by members of a Haitian gang.
There's not a lot of hope because you're right, the government has collapsed. The police, you can't trust. One of the most notorious gang leaders is a former police officer.
But last week, gangs that usually fight each other banded together, attacking the presidential palace, the airports, even the prisons, releasing thousands of prisoners. Over the weekend, President Biden approved a military operation to airlift some non-essential personnel from the American embassy in Haiti. And we know, according to what consulars were saying last night, a traditional consul will select and appoint an interim prime minister. But the United Nations has said just in the last week alone, 15,000 Haitians have been displaced. So, Hoda, humanitarian aid workers are saying time is of the essence.
Terrifying situation.
Now, as we look at that right there, right? We had the motherfucking what was that speech we had the other day? The State of the Union. What do you think about State of the Union speech?
Oh, that was good.
First of all, let's touch on that for a minute. What you think about State of the Union?
Oh, that was right on. I told you. Shit, it was about it was about over the summer, around summertime. But fuck it, going on a year ago. Yeah. Don't worry too much about that shit they talking about Biden. The dude know what he doing, and when it's time for him to show up and show out, he was going to do it. This is the time for him to show up and show out. It wasn't for him a year ago to come out like he came out at the State of the Union. It was for him to be doing his job, to be building up his resume, to tell the people the economy is kicking. We got the number one economy in the world. Ain't nobody shit kicking like our shit kicking. That this administration has lowered drug costs. We capped the price of insulin at $35 a month for seniors.
Let's stay right there for a minute. Hold on.
We did all of this.
The MAGA Republicans are saying Trump started a 35 cap.
No, he didn't.
Can you take that?
No, he did not. That's the shit. That's the shit I be talking about.
Exactly.
Trump came into office. He came in that line off the break anyway. Then he was trying to. He tried to take credit for a lot of shit that happened that Obama did.
But the MAGA Black Republicans are saying he the one started the 35 cap.
No, he didn't.
But where did he get that from?
He didn't. How would he? How? Trump didn't do nothing to take on Big Pharma. No, he didn't. Trump is doing everything in the world he could do to overturn the Affordable Care Act.
I'm confused.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they were talking about he started that.
And how did he start it?
I'm confused.
It's about what, a year, maybe a year and a half ago that this happened. That Biden negotiated.
It's a lie, bro.
With the pharmacy companies to lower the price on certain drugs. So
that's the thing about the debate right there. It's like
God,
we can't function on lies. We can't pick and choose what's facts. Like
if you're gonna tell
1 minute we was debating with the MAGA Reels. 1 minute he said, "Oh, I don't look on Google. That ain't my way. I don't look on Google. That ain't my news." Then later on, he say, "Just Google it." Like, hold on, bro.
Right.
Wake your mind up. You Google stuff or not? You know, where's your information so we can all of us can get on that, and so we can be on the same page, bro.
That's my thing.
Like, where you getting your facts at first?
How can you say, oh God, how can you say that Trump did this, Trump did this, Trump did this, and everything that Trump do contradicts what you're trying to say that he did? Trump did not do nothing. He did not even sit down and have a meeting with the pharmacy companies. What are you talking about? People were still, it's just they still today, were still going up to Canada, getting the same drugs for less than half the price. Because what they was doing in this country, the pharmacy, the big pharma was outpricing the people in this country, and they were selling the same drugs in countries like Canada and so on, much, much cheaper. And you tell me something right about that?
That's the problem, yeah.
And it was
never
Biden
on his agenda. It's like, what are they? Like, I'll be confused when motherfuckers be like, "Oh yeah, Biden ain't started that." Like, what are you talking about? Niggas wasn't even talking about that shit.
That is my whole.
This nigga right here forced the pharmaceuticals to do this shit, bro. Like, this had nothing to do with Trump. My thing is, you gotta say, all right, that's a good thing. Then, if Biden did that, that's good. Then, instead of you doing that, nope, Trump did that. Like, what do you mean? You can't stir the truth up to make it good for you.
You can't.
What the fuck?
Sit out here.
That should be
You wanna
confusing, like
you wanna
shit.
right, you want to try to take credit for something that he do the opposite of.
Yeah, it's like, bro, stay
He's
with
doing
your.
one.
That's your
That's why
man,
I say-
right?
That's why I say, look, if you believe, that's my whole thing.
yeah.
If you believe that Big Pharma should be able to run amok, if you believe that big oil should be able to do what they want to do, if you don't believe in climate change, and if you don't believe in clean energy, if you don't believe in none of this stuff, stand on what you believe in. Don't say, fuck that shit. I'm gonna get rid of Obamacare, and Trump has said it out of his mouth that the big pharma and the pharmacy companies should be able to set the prices as they choose and please. If that's what you believe, because that's what the man you are following says, and if you're following him, that must mean you believe in what he's saying and his vision for the country. Then stand on it. Don't let him say one thing. Well, he said, fuck it. Let them set the prices as they choose and please. Oh, but he tried to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And then you got a segment of your own people who believe anything he says. And then by that token, you think all people are stupid as they are.
It's ridiculous. The Republican Party, the MAGA Republicans, are based on fear and ignorance, bro.
Ignorance.
Period. That's your whole party right there. You, and then some of them know, some of them just playing the act, be honest with you.
Yeah.
They know how silly this is, and they just playing the act because they get them views or clicks or whatever the fuck happens.
But that act, and that's a dangerous act, though. True. That's a it's some things. It's some things.
Put the hat on because you get you a million views or some shit.
It's some things you don't play with, because when it gets down to it, on it for real, it's always gonna come down to life and death. It's gonna come down to war and peace. And when you playing these games, because you want clickbait, you doing a disservice to everybody. Because not only are you lying to the public at large, you're lying to your own supporters. You have got people within the Republican Party, especially MAGA Republicans, who believe everything that Trump says is true, and it's a cold-blooded lie. And you're not only doing a disservice to yourself, but them too. You're doing them a disservice, because they're going to vote for something that's a lie. They're going to vote for something that's a lie. And we're going to fuck around and end up in another war, in World War III. We want to end up hit again. We want to end up in another situation. It could be another pandemic where all them people died because Trump didn't want to believe that the pandemic was real.
Yeah, if we just stay on the reasons why he shouldn't be president, regardless, let's set aside he's a racist fucking pig. The nigga is incompetent, bro. You sat there and watch us go through a pandemic that he couldn't handle.
And told us to drink bleach.
Like, come on, bro. Like, small shit like that is just, when you call all African countries a shit fucking hole. All right, you disqualified. Nope, not for black Republicans. You feel me, bro? It's like some of this shit. Where's my motherfucker? I see my black Republican out there. Y'all like that shit? Does that sound good to your ear when it hit it? Like, come on, bro.
Thought they think that shit funny.
I'm confused. Central Park 5. For anybody out there, look to Central Park 5 up. Where he wanted them to be fucking executed, bro.
For something they didn't do.
Only because they was black and brown. The man did not want to rent to black people, bro. He put his lawyers on the case like he does today to make sure his buildings,
But you want black people to buy them ugly ass shoes.
his buildings specifically, cannot border black motherfuckers. And this the fool you want to back, bro. And think about this time when he was doing that. Black people needed housing, bro. He gonna say, no, that black motherfucker not coming in here. Not in my shit.
My shit.
Really? But that's cool with you, though, bro. That's cool with you. The statues. Racist pigs on the statues. He want them up. Nah, don't take them statues down. They heroes.
No, you
Racist pigs that was fucking slave owners and wanted to continue slavery. He wanted those statues up. That's okay with you, though, black Republicans. That's smooth. That's a cool thing with you. We don't even get to the motherfucking the fact that he had no vision for your black ass.
Yeah.
What is this? What is Trump vision for the black culture, bro? He has no platform right now today. What is his platform? None.
If you
don't have a platform in the black culture right now for just America in general, and you're running for president, what does that mean? Come on, bro.
If you want everyday
Shithole
ordinary
countries, bro. I ain't got all that yet.
If you want everyday ordinary regular ass black people to, I'm not even gonna say be in the Republican Party, but pay attention to the Republican Party. Listen to what you have to say. Then you have to make us feel welcome. Y'all don't understand that. The black people do not feel welcome in the Republican Party. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. The only ones that seem to be welcome into the Republican Party are the ones that deny themselves, that deny their blackness. It seems like that's
tell you, oh yeah, the white. This man had the nerve to tell us the white woman is better for us. The white woman treats you better. The white culture treats you.
No,
bruh, I could have threw up. Like, what are you, bruh? That goes against everything I done been through, done seen, and my forefathers and my parents been through.
You got that part
like,
right.
What are you talking about right now, bruh? It just doesn't. To me and us, it irritates us when you have a beef with us being pro, if you want to call it pro-black, and you come in with the arguments you have that has nothing to do with anything. You feel me? It don't advance us. We didn't have a debate on getting guns out of the street. Nope. You just want to talk about some transgender. Like, what do that have to do with anything? It's the silliest shit, bro.
Right.
I noticed that transgender really sparks the fucking thing. They get really irritated with transgender shit.
Man, they get really.
Do you know?
They get irritated with anything.
We did a podcast for 2 years, and transgender never came out of our mouth unless we was talking about what's my man play for Miami Heat and his son.
We talking about Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade's son came up. I think that's the only time we even talked about some transgender shit. Like, that shit ain't even on our thought processes. Like, nigga, if everything you wake up with is thought processes is, oh, that's not a man, and that's not real. Like, bruh, that has nothing to do with anything, as far as I'm concerned.
Look,
when it comes down to if that person has rights now, this was the point I was trying to make. If us as black people, right, is a lot of us died, a lot of us got hung. There's a lot of us, like Martin Luther King, got locked up. It's a trail of us that fought and died for our rights. And then and the black woman came last. And the fact that we came this far, And then if you look at somebody else ask for rights, so for example, everybody looked at black people as no, they not even people. Look at him, he black. Nah, they not even real people. I don't give a fuck about them. Fuck them. It's the same way motherfuckers, black Republicans talking about motherfuckers transgenders.
Right.
It's the same thing. We as black people cannot condone it because it's a slippery slope. This is what anybody got rights in America today came from our struggle.
Yeah.
Once we got here, it was nothing but white people here. Everything that we fought for, anything that we struggled for, it's a resilience of other people coming in trying to use those things, those tactics to get their rights. And us as black people can't say, oh, no, you know what? Your right's not legit. No, because we done came from that before when motherfuckers told us our rights weren't legit. So why we turn to this person to tell them that your right's not right when motherfuckers beat your ass because you wanted to change whatever the fuck happens here with your sex? Niggas start beating your ass, you can't live, you can't get apartments. That's the same shit we went through. Y'all don't get to understand that bigger picture. If you let a motherfucker get discriminated against, that's a slippery slope for our black asses.
Now look,
period.
If you think that transgender men who try to identify as women shouldn't compete in women's sports, I agree with you. That transgender bathroom thing, I don't know what to think about that sometimes. It's a lot of things that people on both sides of the aisle agree with. But when you get down to it, the whole thing about when you get into transgender rights, as you get into minority rights, and you get into civil rights and so on, no matter what you think of this person, no matter if you agree with that person's lifestyle or not, if you like the person or not, does this person have the right to live their life in peace? Does this person have the right to walk down the street without being beat up? Does this person have the right to walk the streets without fear of being murdered, killed, hung, what have you? That's when you get into rights. It's not rights. They're not asking for. This is my opinion. I don't think they're asking for rights that every other group of people doesn't have. I don't have to. They're not making. That's why I don't get the argument that the girl was trying to make last week, because when they ask for rights, they're not making you sit down. They're not making you sit down in the bar with them. You know, if you don't like them, don't go near. That's what I do. Fuck it. I ain't going in there. I don't get down with them people like that. You can stay away from them. But they want the right to live their life in peace, because when their life is over, they gotta answer to a higher power than me. I'm not the one they answer to. I don't have a heaven or hell to put them in. So what they do is their own damn business. As long as you ain't fucking with me. As long as you ain't fucking with me.
That's the problem. Nobody cares a fuck. Like, I never met one before. It just never was a topic for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing I give a fuck about. But I don't want nobody, as a black person, black man, want nobody discriminated against. This is the struggle we've been through, bruh. Okay. That's why it was real important for us to walk through our history. Because most of this shit will eliminate most of their motherfucking talking points just by our history alone, bro. Like the shit that we've been through. You know what I'm saying? Like we've been through a lot. We can't sit here and then support racists, support bigots. It's like people that don't want to advance our culture. That's a waste of our time. Like nobody, no black person on earth on America's soil can disagree that we have a gun problem in our culture.
Big gun problem.
And you can't disagree. We have to do something about it.
But
so then when you start finding who's gonna do something about it, Republicans are not. I don't give a fuck who running for president. The party is not.
oh, man,
That's me where I'm at.
great.
Those people that up top don't even exist to me, bro.
We live in
It's just the philosophies of the parties is what I'm with.
we live in Maryland, and you got two candidates on the Democratic side that's running to be the next senator from Maryland. You got Angela also Brooks, and you got David Trump. Both who I believe got motherfucking bad ratings from the NRA. I know also Brooks does. I'm not sure about I don't know what Trump's rating is. But on the Republican side, recently you had former Maryland governor Larry Hogan jumped in the race, which he raced to be senator on the for the Republican nomination. And one of the first things the first things they said about him and published about him was his NRA rating, which is an A-. He got an A-. I don't know what the fuck he did to get an A-. But that's like anything lower than that, and especially if you get a F or D or so, or even a C from the NRA, that's death to your candidacy. That's how powerful the NRA is, and that's why nothing on that side of the aisle gets done about guns, because they so scared of getting a bad grade from the NRA. One of the first things, it wasn't about he's a two-term in a two-term Republican governor in a deep blue state. No other Republican did it. But one of the first things you see, his NRA rating is an A-. And without that, and check A-, shit, if that A- was an F or a D, his ass couldn't run for dog catcher.
What's best for the black culture? What's best for the black culture? Either more guns or less guns.
Less guns.
Exactly. So, to me personally, I literally, if a Republican was standing here right now, was passing crime bills and passing motherfucking everything to get guns out the streets, it was dead set on motherfucking make sure black people and businesses can come up, and the fucking poor neighborhoods can come up and have houses, I'll be for it.
Yeah. And so
I wouldn't be for that Republican president because it depends on what the party is going to vote for.
Right.
That's the thing everybody got to understand. Anybody can run for president. What party are they running for? What's their philosophy? What counts?
And let me say this. It ain't about taking away your guns, and it is not about taking away the Second Amendment. What we're talking about is the types of guns that's in the streets, because any weapon that should be used, that is made to be used and manufactured to be used on a battlefield of war, should not be on the streets and should not be in the hands of 14 and 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, and shit like that.
That's what we mean by less guns.
That's what we mean. It should not be youngins. It should not be these youngins out here walking around in the streets with semi-automatic pistols with extended clips. That whole up to 30 fucking rounds. Really? We're talking about getting the illegal guns off the streets. We're not talking about not being able to protect your home, your property, your business, your life, your family. Yeah. You do not need an AK-47 to do that. A regular old 9 or 380 or 38 do the trick. Motherfucker come. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be able to, if a motherfucker cross that line and come up in your house on your property with some dumb shit, that you don't have the right to blow their ass away. If motherfucker violate, hey, that's on you. But what we're saying is AR-15s and AK-47s and extended clips and shit that turn a gun into a fully automatic weapon, that should not be on the streets. These youngins should not be running around out here. You got motherfuckers, you got these little motherfuckers out here are carjacking people right and left, and they ain't even old enough to have a fucking driver's license.
I do want to appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, man. I understand y'all wanted to see that motherfucking clash right there, but it is gonna come one day.
Yeah, they
had
to
to postpone it,
the people in the class don't
reschedule it,
want
so
to
we'll
see.
let you know when we schedule that thing. But one thing before we come up, we're gonna definitely be back here for this week out, because this was just an unprompted joint. We just went off dome on this one right here, so because we you know how this business is. I done found out motherfuckers either don't show up or they just not the man and the woman of their words. You know what I'm saying? Or things come up. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I learned about this live podcast thing, that it always not gonna go the way you want. You know what I'm saying, dog? But it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying, dog? Appreciate Rails though. Appreciate him having his standpoints on where he at in the political world. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate him a whole lot because he's enthusiastic and he here to state his case. But on the other hand, he here to make sure that black people know you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And trust us. Appreciate everybody, man. Look, everybody subscribe to us lately, man. We appreciate y'all a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? We just here to have this dialogue and have this information flowing through our hood. You know what I'm saying? Flowing through our community and have the debate. One thing I don't like is misleaders in our community. We got segments for that. We got segments for Trump lovers. And we got segments for anything that derails the black culture from prospering and getting better and being more access to freedom and housing and life in America, bro. It's just really the bottom line. So we definitely will be here before this week come out with a real show. You know what I'm saying? And we reschedule the Clash of Titans, MAGA Republicans with these black pro-black motherfuckers.
And look, and David and who that? David DeYoung. If you want to come on here and you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. You can come on. You can kick it. You can kick rocks with the insults. But you know, if you want to do that,
it's unnecessary, bro. You're not even. Y'all niggas ain't even built like that. It's like unnecessary shit. We want to have dialogue, bro. We've been through that. We from the streets, bro.
I try not to go there because I ain't.
Why would you come on the internet to argue with a clown? We in the streets. It's unnecessary, bro.
Right.
These motherfuckers don't get it. They just internet fools. So all we want to do is just have a dialogue. We don't want
something like that.
You want to be tough and all that shit. I've been shot 3 times, man. Then my man right here been in jail. It's like nothing you gonna tell us gonna scare
me.
Like, what are y'all talking about right now? So just talk and have a dialogue. Like, yeah, exactly. And we from DC, it's like we don't know this internet shit. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to have a conversation. We'll fuck around, be knocking on your door with some mail. You know what I'm saying? No, we don't know nothing about that bullshit. Fuck wrong with you?
Y'all make a bunch of y'all come in, y'all make a bunch of racist comments and shit like that. That shit ain't cool. I'm not a motherfucker. Like I told you, I'm not no racist. Just because I'm pro-black don't mean I'm anti anything else. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I'm cool with all types of people. You'd be amazed at the type of people I associate with. So, you know, for you to come off with your little offhand racist comments, you know, either come correct or kick rocks.
Exactly. Like he said, just wanting to advance our culture and what's best for and
Right.
get the guns out. I have a 12-year-old son. I don't want no cop killing him.
Shit.
Now you see what I'm saying? Like when y'all see shit on the news, it's just news to y'all.
Right.
That's people that's really living our lives. It might touch one of us. Might be a cousin or a friend or something. That's just some news to
I
y'all.
don't know who I associate. I
But
know
we don't want the shit no more in our streets, bruh. And we just want laws that at least make it so that it's lawful and whoever has them is accountable for them. Bitches.
Right.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all want to swing it into we pro motherfucking what was that shit? Agenda?
Yeah, pro-black. What the fuck?
No, genders. What was that gender thing you said? Transgender gender. Whatever that is.
Transgender agenda.
Like, bruh, that sounds dumb. Like, y'all are, what's that called? Transphobic and whatever the fuck going on. We don't even talk about this shit. We don't even know how to say it.
You transphobic.
Yeah, that. We don't even know how to. Bruh, we been on this joint 2 years, bro. We don't be discussing no transgender shit, bro. It's like that's not even a topic.
Like I told you, all the motherfuckers want to do. They want to start something. They want to start something because they want talking points and they want.
We ain't having that.
They want clickbait.
We want the actual debate on. Hey, forget that. If you here watching right now, if you're a black Republican, you you open to come on this joint anytime. You just a black Republican. If you're a black MAGA, we want you on here ASAP. Yeah. But anybody that feel you're a conservative black man,
I don't fuck who you is.
Come on. You know what I'm saying? We just want the average debate for the black culture, bruh. And at the end, somebody sitting there black and take from it what they want. That's it. You know what I'm saying, dog? And we just feel like whether it's Biden or Harris or fucking whoever they can bring up next is irrelevant to us. It's not the person. I know it's the person for y'all. It's not it for us. It's going to change. We've been alive long enough to know that person going to change. What party has the philosophy that's best for the black culture to advance it and make sure they prosper? That's it. That's it. If you want to tell us the Republican Party does that, come on here and debate with us, my nigga.
That's what I say. I mean, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe.
That's it.
I'm cool with that, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fault you for what you believe. I mean, I might tell you I might tell you that the policies is bullshit.
If we had a debate and at the end a black man sit there and say, you know what? I still like Trump. Hey,
yeah,
nothing we can do about that, bro.
You like who you like.
Ain't nothing we can do about that.
But
bro.
see, but
the facts are facts.
With them people, my thing with them people is you don't have to tear down. You don't have to tear down other people in order to try to build up whatever it is you're trying to build up. If the building's strong enough and the foundation of what you're standing on is strong enough, the building's gonna hold. It's gonna hold. But when you got to hold it up with lies, half truths, false propaganda, and all this old other garbage, and racism and reverse racism and self-hate and all this other garbage that you're doing, then the foundation that you stand on is strong. That shit it's not gonna hold. So
trying to make us believe what we seeing is not what we seeing. We know we're racist when we see them.
Yeah.
Now get over that. If you want to support them, just say you supporting this racist because of this. Don't tell us we not seeing the racist for what he is, bro.
I done whooped quite a few racist ass.
It's just dumbest thing I ever seen. It's like, don't tell us who a racist is. Just say you support that motherfucker, bro. Don't say, nah, I ain't not a racist. Fuck wrong with you? Nigga don't say that's my black American right there. And you think that's cool? Fuck out of here, bro.
Then you sit and then for you to try to prove your point that he's not a racist, you tear down your own mama. I heard this dude that came on this pod and talked greasy about his own mama. Come on. They gonna tear down my mama. I'll fuck you up for you.
Man, stop playing, man.
Come on, man.
YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, wherever
that.
you want, Facebook, wherever you want to find us at,
do.
man. We here for that dialogue, bro. We here for the black culture for sure. and anybody else besides Rails, if Rails and his friends be on it, they won't reschedule it for sure. I know Rails. I fucks with Rails, man. He definitely come on and state his case for Trump. I like that. He walk around, he got the head on and everything. That I like. But all I want you to do is dialogue with us and debate it. Facts, nigga. Don't start talking about I don't listen to those facts and that fact ain't right and all that. No, like, come on.
I'm already.
I already know where you at. You don't fuck with none of these clowns. At this point, I already know my man here does not fuck with MAGA Republicans. They don't have no sense. And then another thing is they do a lot of things for clickbait.
I expect this podcast to be chopped up and put out on a little on a platforms by tomorrow, probably by the night. So I wouldn't, don't.
No, I think more if they would have came on here.
Nah,
but
I think
I am going to send a message to.
I say it wouldn't surprise me, but look,
I'm sending a message to all black Republicans, all black MAGAs on the internet, Twitter, whatever the fuck you're at. We are here for the smoke ASAP. And that's it. Come with your shit right. And next time, hey, Where's gonna bring his team back on here next time and he's gonna reschedule it. That's all good. You know what I'm saying, dog? We're gonna have this debate. But until then, we're gonna come back on here and have you a real show on this joint, real podcast on this joint, because we had to wing it tonight, which is no problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the business. You know what I'm saying? People shit come up. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You know what I'm saying, dog? But one thing everybody gonna have to know is that we definitely gonna keep grinding and keep spitting out our information for the black culture to let them know we here, baby. We here for the information. We here to let you know, you know what I'm saying, what's right and what's wrong. Then you take it from there. If at the end you say, you know what, I'm still gonna vote for this racist.
Right.
Hey, we ain't got nothing to do with that. OnlyFans Jake, what's going on, player? Before we get out of here, what you talking about? What you got on your mind?
What's going on, man?
I don't know if you heard the last podcast or not, or I know you know Rails, right?
Yeah.
Black Republican, yeah. So what you think? What let me ask you this, right? To you, which party is more geared towards advancing the black culture, or making life much more easier for their way of life? Which party does that?
So, honestly, how you doing? Honestly, what blue give you, red take away. What red give you, blue take away. But if you business perspective, you got people out here that's saying like Trump did this and Trump did that for black people, and that's not true. And he just piggybacked off the shit that Obama did. However, Obama, when he was president, when he was in place as president, when he had stuff lined up and had it set intact, us as a culture attacked him. But that's nothing new. That's expected. We always doing shit just like that. We attack our own kind and cater to somebody that really ain't give a shit about you. And
exactly,
some people, people out there don't really know, or don't really, know no better. Like they, people just don't have their own mind.
Mm-mm.
When you don't have your own mind, or if your mind is just, like my folks said when I was growing up as a kid, idle mind is the devil's workshop, basically. So if you just out there wondering, or just wondering, ain't too much further to wonder. The truth is in your face. The truth, some people don't know the truth when it kick you in your ass, even if it kick you in your ass. So
that's a motherfucking fact. I appreciate you sliding through the joint, OnlyFans, Jay.
Yeah,
I appreciate everybody sliding through the night for sure. You know what I'm saying, dog? This is a podcast for just the normal motherfuckers to slide through and get that motherfucking that politics fix from two hood motherfuckers.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying, dog? But shouts out to Jay for stepping in. Shouts out to Rails too. Even though he ain't show up with his team tonight, he gonna set that thing up. I'm sure he gonna set it up. You know what I'm saying, dog? So we're not even gonna stress on that. But appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, man. We'll be back before this week out just to have a real podcast because this was spontaneous. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. So, when people cancel,
I told you them motherfuckers weren't gonna show up.
He did say that. But this is the business I'm finding out. You know what I'm saying, dog? But any other black Republicans, MAGA Republicans want to come on this podcast and debate, it's open. You know what I'm saying, dog? Check your boys out before you know it. You know what I'm saying, dog? You know? Hey, we gonna hit you up, OnlyFans Jay, for sure.